You still look like a goofball. It's just like these women, though. I done seen women wear the cheapest from Shein. But when they got that body, it doesn't matter. She can throw on goddamn anything. You can wrap a bed sheet around the bride, and she's still gonna look bad as hell. And then you got some of these extra large refrigerators, these big back back wells. She could get the best dress in the whole world, and she still look like a big back back well. You know, putting lipstick on a pig don't make the pig look good. Let's keep it real. That goes both ways. So don't think you're gonna get a quick fix for any of this stuff, dog. It takes hard work. It takes discipline. People value things that are rare, and day by day, having a good physique is getting rare. Today, we'll be talking about the truth that nobody wants to talk about when it comes to the body game. I see a lot of guys will say, you know, women, some of them care about a guy's physique, but not all of them. Cole, you're exaggerating. It's not as important as you're making it to be. And I say, yeah, that's true that women are attracted to a multitude of things. But the vast majority, I say damn near all these women, like a guy with a nice body. Now, what she is attracted to, like the level of body fat percentage, a percentage of muscle, that might vary. But all these women want a man with a good body. And don't let them lie to you. They'll try to make you feel good, try to sugarcoat stuff. Oh, you know, I like your belly. I like your flabby arms. I can rest my head on your big titties. She might lie to you and try to make you feel better. But the physique that she truly gets wet for, it's not you. When you got titties, when you got a gut, she got to go hunting for your meat. That's not the physique that turns her on. She got to close her eyes and think about the linebackers that used to blow her back out back in college, back in high school. Because let's be real, the athletes, they were the main ones getting chicks back in high school and in college. These girls fiend for a good physique. The same way we like a good physique. You like that woman that got a slim waist and she got that wagon on her. She got that wagon on her. He was just like, damn. So even though you would get with a girl that maybe your girl built like a mini fridge and you like, you know, she ain't got that body, but she knows how to cook. We get along good. We have similar hobbies. So you would still date that woman. You could still make it work with that woman. But deep down inside, you really attracted to that hourglass shape. You attracted to that woman that got the slim waist and she got the wagon on her. That's if you could sleep with one thing for one night, that's what it would be. It wouldn't be your woman, the little mini fridge. But you might stick with that mini fridge because that mini fridge, she good to you. She a good woman. Just because she got bad physique, that don't make her a bad woman. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't talking about these super obese women. Now, some of y'all into that. You know, some of y'all like to go well hunting. Y'all like to go big back, beluga back well hunting. Hey, do your thing, my boy. I mean, if you're hitting the gym shit, you can lift a lot of weight. You might as well get your big girl you can lift up. She probably cook good, cool. You know, I know a lot of guys might come in the conversation and come for me saying, oh, how dare you bash these women? So, you might like these big back girls. But at the end of the day, you know, if you could get a slim waist with a big old wagon, that's what you would prefer. That's what you would prefer. And I think it's the same way with women. She might stick with that guy that doesn't have the best physique. Some of you guys might have been like, Cole, when I didn't have the best physique, I was still getting laid. But I'm saying it's not to the same percentage. You don't get the coochie as easily. Because even my mom asked me again. I don't know why my mom always asks me questions she doesn't want to know the answer to. But she asked me again, Cole, because I had to go to her house to pick up some stuff. And she said, Cole, where did you go those 2 nights where you left? I said, Mom, do you actually want to know? And she's like, yeah. I said, I hooked up with a girl. She said, oh my God. Oh. Acting all shocked and surprised, like she ain't have a heyday back in her day. She's like, oh my God. Huh? She was like, she wasn't a hooker, was she? I said, I hooked up with a girl. I didn't say I paid a hooker. I said, what I look like to you? You think I'd pay a hooker? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, I feel like you're disrespecting me right now. And I said, yeah, even in the past before I hooked up with a girl when I went missing. You thought I went missing and I told you I was going on a walk. You being all dramatic, like I'm not grown. Okay. So I told her, yeah, I hooked up with a girl. And she's like, so what did you do? Did you go on a date? I'm like, no, she picked me up. We drove to the park and we got it on. And she's like, you didn't take her out to eat? Like, she's surprised we ain't do anything. I'm like, no. She just picked me up for a hookup. And then my mom was like, Cole, you're not a slut, are you? I'm like, can a man be a slut? I'm looking at her like, what are you talking about? It's like, you're not a slut, are you? And I said, I don't know, maybe it runs in the family. And she's like, well, I don't know. So you saying you get it from you? I said, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say it runs in the family. You know what I'm saying? Good chance both my parents was out there back in the day. I'm just keeping it a bean. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just going to end it there. You feel me? But I told her, like, you know, maybe it runs in the family. I like to go crazy every now and then. So I told her, and then make sure not to leave the condoms in the car, because if it exposed to too much heat. I'm like, Mom, you acting like I was born last night. You know what I'm saying? Did you wear protection? And she keep going on and on. One little slip up can risk you 18 years of your life, and really it's not 18 years of it. I'm like, all right, Ma. All right. I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't know how to use protection, I would have had a chick pregnant a while ago. I would have had a couple chicks pregnant a while ago. That's what I'm telling her. Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your advice on how to not get a girl pregnant. I don't need your advice. Respectfully. I said, respectfully, Mom. But it was even hard for her to comprehend. And then I was telling my dad about it. He's like, oh, you didn't take her anywhere? Like, they're surprised, like, I didn't take this girl anywhere. And I think it's a little different because nowadays, with Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, all these dating apps, the guys that have the good physiques, you can get a girl like that. You can get a girl to just pick you up and go to Pound Town. If you a fat guy, you're not getting that. I don't care what you guys say. You cannot come on here and lie to me and say, oh, I'm a fat piece of shit. I got titties. I got a gut. And I can download a dating app and get a girl to come through and get smashed within 30 minutes. I don't believe that shit at all. That's not the reality. I don't believe you guys. If you saying you were fat, you were overweight, you cannot download a dating app and get chicks just like that. You can't. I don't believe that shit. The guys that are smashing on these dating apps with damn near no effort, they're the guys that are in shape. They're the guys that got the physique that's going to turn into a freak. Those are the guys that get easy coochie. It's the top 10, top 20%. And when I say top 10, top 20%, I'm not even talking about financial. See, a lot of people talking about financial. I'm saying appearance. But if you got titties, you got a gut, I don't care how good you dress. Because the thing is, if you overweight, you sloppy, but you know how to throw on that suit and you look like you got money, she's just going to try to get money from you. You're going to have to pay for the box. Like I say, every dude doesn't pay the same price. Like, some guys say everybody pays, but I'm like, okay, when I went to Canada and girls I've hooked up with in the past, when I download that dating app, we message back and forth a little bit, and I get the smash, what did I pay? What, I paid with my penis? That's it? While this other dude had to take her on 4 or 5 dates, wine and dine her wherever she wanted to go, he took her there. Took her to the movies, took her to a steak dinner, took her here, took her there, took her to a baseball game. These motherfuckers be going through all the loops. They be cash apping chicks. Boy, I ain't never cash app a chick. So a lot of these guys, they spending $500, $600 before they even get the coochie. And she just pulling up, going to the park. What you trying to get into? How much trouble you trying to get? Okay, let's go. But to my parents, that was like crazy because, they grew up in a different time where you had to meet girls at the bar or you had to go out, talk a little bit, have a couple drinks, and then you might get to smashing. But it's like now, if you got really good photos, if you know how to present yourself online, you can get coochie off the rip. You can get coochie off the rip. And even when it comes to girls catching feelings for you, I recently heard a guy on YouTube, I'm not going to mention his name, but a guy on YouTube said, a girl cannot catch feelings from just sex. And I thought about it. I was like, no, I think a girl can catch feelings from sex because I done had girls tell me like, I can't keep having sex with you because I'm catching feelings and I want more. And I know you don't want more. And I done had that situation with girls like, they'll come over, get smashed, and they're like throwing their clothes on, ready to go. And I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? It kind of surprised me. Like sometimes it's weird to me when a girl's too ready to go right after, but then she trying to come back again. But I had that situation before where it was just sex. Like that's it. And the girl starts catching feelings. So I'm like, dude online talking about women can't catch feelings from just sex. It's like, no, if you really built exactly how she wants a man and you putting in that work in the bedroom, she can catch feelings. Even these P-stars be saying it. Oh, I caught feelings for this one guy. Now, I know a lot of these P-stars, they probably hang out with each other outside of work. But it's like, even a lot of these P-stars that have been ran through, they keep hooking up with the dude. Now they catching feelings sometimes. That shit happens. When you really know how to, put it down and you build exactly how she likes some, she can catch feelings for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes, they just be talking, bro. They just be talking. I'm talking about the experience, dog. When you have that physique that turns to a freak, a lot of these chicks, they'll throw the coochie at you. A lot of these chicks, they're going to try to play hardball with you or they're going to just sling it at you. And they sling it at you. If you do a good job, you keep smashing that chick, you got about a couple months until she wants to get something serious with you. A lot of times, that's how it is. Now, some chicks, they know what it is. They're like, okay, This was a fling. This was short term. I understand that. And they're not going to push the issue to try to get more serious. But some of these chicks, they catch feelings. They do. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not like I was trying to push girls into something more serious. But it's like when you match a chick out over and over and over again, you know what I'm saying? You done did stuff to her she ain't never been through before. Sometimes she gonna catch feelings. But dog, just like think about it. I don't understand why people downplay the body game so much. And it'd be the guys that haven't been in the dating market. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Brian talking about he been with his girl for 13 years, but then he trying to talk about body game and like, oh, you know, that's just very shallow. Women aren't like that. You know, most women, you just got to find a good woman and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, bro, you ain't been in the dating market for 13 years and you online talking about something. No, you just got to have a good personality. I'm like, she's not even going to get to know your personality if you got titties bigger than hers. Right? That's just the reality of it. That's nothing to get mad about. That's just to be real with yourself. Like, if you really want the options, you got to change your life. You got to take a real look at yourself and be like, why would a girl want to sleep with me when I got titties swinging in her face? When I'm hitting it from the back, I got to rest my stomach on her back. Would that really turn on a girl? Most of you women, would that turn them on? You got to be real. You got to be real. Are you smashing? Sometimes I'd have been too, my body fat percentage have been too low to the point where, like, you know, my hip bone be poking the chicks. You know what I'm saying? I had chicks told me that before, you know what I mean? So I don't try to get too low body fat percentage because I done been around 7%. You know, that's when my hips kind of look a little bony. I don't need to get below 9% really. But you guys that are way too skinny, you trying to smash the chick and you poking her with your bones. She don't like that either. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it real. But just look at it, dog. Women are the most attracted to athletes. And you look at the rappers they love, they be fanned out about, you know, Kevin Gates. If Kevin Gates was still fat, when he was doing that little stroking thing on stage, talking about stroke, man, Kevin Gates always types of freaked out. But if he was doing that type of stuff and he was still overweight, these chicks wouldn't be turned on by that. They'd be like, ew, what is bro doing? You know, like, they want to be turned on by that. Probably he wouldn't even have the confidence to be moving like that. He got these tight-ass jeans on, can't even breathe. The reason why he do goofy shit like that, because he got more confidence in himself after he lost that weight. Now he over here stroking air on stage. You know what I'm saying? Bro, a little too freaked out. Confidence, you start moving differently. Or Gunna. Once Gunna got lost some weight, a lot of these chicks, I seen chicks posting about Gunna. Oh, Gunna, I didn't realize how fine he was. He's so sexy, all this other stuff. If he was still fat, they wouldn't be saying that. They wouldn't be saying that, bro. So just take a couple steps back and look at the reality of things, man. And I'm not saying you can't be fat and still get laid, but I'm saying you have to put in a lot more effort. The quality of chicks, the amount of chicks is not going to be the same. Women care about your body, and you should care about your body. Even if it has nothing to do with women, you should still care about your body. Because when I was talking to my dad, he's like, you know, I don't care what people think about me anymore. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. If you don't care about what people think about you anymore, that's fine. But don't just accept being overweight and obese and be like, you know, I don't care what people think about me, so I'm gonna just let myself go. I'm like, because if it was all about just looking better, you started for the wrong reason. It's about looking better and feeling better. You should still want to have your health good so you can move around and live an enjoyable life. But a lot of these people cope. A lot of people, most people out here, they're coping. By that I would say like, oh, money doesn't matter and stuff like that. I'm like, when have you ever had a lot of money? That's how I relate this to. It's like when people say body game isn't that big of a deal and we exaggerate it, it doesn't make much of a difference. It's like a lot of you guys never had the body game to even see the difference. Just like a lot of these people say, oh, money doesn't matter, but they never even had the money to notice the difference. They never had any real money. They never haven't been in the position of living paycheck to paycheck, but you here telling me money doesn't matter. And I'm not saying money is everything, and that's what people like to do. They like to look at the extreme examples. They'll be like, oh, well, this bodybuilder said he didn't attract more women, he just attracted more men. But it's like, he's an extreme example. Or they'd be like, oh, this billionaire, he committed suicide. And it's like, okay. But overall, you're going to be happier if you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. Overall, you're going to be happier when you don't feel bad about yourself when you go to the beach, when you go to the pool. You're not scared to take your shirt off. When you actually have blood flow go to your meat and you ain't got to pop a whole bunch of pills to get an erection. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to perform better in the bedroom. You're going to have more confidence in yourself. So you can keep lying to yourself and coping like most people out here, but that's not the best way to live, and that's not the way I'm going to live. I done lived the body game. I done seen the physique turn these chicks to freaks. So I'm just speaking on my experience. Y'all can keep calling it bullshit. Y'all can keep saying money doesn't matter and keep coping. Keep coping. That's perfectly fine with me. But when you're at the end of your life, you know what's real. You know you bullshitted your life. You know you've been full of shit. And society will keep trying to push all this bullshit on you. Society wants you to just suck your thumb and keep running on that rat wheel. They don't care if you're overweight. They don't care if you're sloppy. They probably prefer that. Because the more overweight you are, the more insecure you are. And then you got to buy the new car. You got to buy the new house. You got to buy the most expensive shoes, the most expensive clothes to make yourself feel valuable. But I'm saying when you actually care about yourself and you take care of yourself and you build that body up and you impressed with that body, dog, most of these guys out here, I could throw on a fit from Walmart and look better than 90% of men. And I don't care what they got on. I could have the cheapest shit on. But it's that physique. So even if I'm wearing a shirt from Walmart, I still look better than the next man that spent $100 on a shirt. You know, I don't know if y'all ever seen a super obese dude in a suit. It doesn't look good. You could get the best tailor in the world. You could get the best material in the world. You still look like a fucking goofball. You still look like a goofball. It's just like these women, though. I done seen women wear the cheapest shit from Shein. But when they got that body, it doesn't matter. She can throw on goddamn anything. You can wrap a bed sheet around the bride, and she's still gonna look bad as hell. And then you got some of these extra, extra large refrigerators, these big back, beluga back wells. She could get the best dress in the whole world. And she still look like a big back, beluga back well. You know? Putting lipstick on a pig don't make the pig look good. Let's keep it real. That goes both ways. So don't think you're going to get a quick fix for any of this stuff, dog. It takes hard work. It takes discipline. People value things that are rare. And day by day, having a good physique is getting rare. Most of these people are overweight. The obesity rate is insane in America. So that's making the body game even more of a secret weapon because it's not as common as it used to be. What does your body look like? What do your habits look like? Why would a woman want you to lead her when you can't even lead yourself? You can't lead yourself away from these donuts, from the honey buns. You can't lead yourself away from Popeyes. You can't lead yourself away from McDonald's, but you're supposed to lead this woman when you can't even get yourself together. You can't even get yourself in order. But she's supposed to look at you and be like, oh yeah, he's my guy. He's my dream guy. No, she's going to settle for you when she ain't got no more options. And this is why I was telling Brian when we went live that one time. I told him, man, when these women get older, they might not care about the body game as much. And then I kind of corrected myself. I said they still care about the body game, but they might not value it as much because they don't have the same options. When a woman gets older, she has to prioritize different things. Okay, now I need a more stable guy. I can't just find a guy that's going to blow my back out, but he doesn't make any money because how can I support a family like that? So she might say, you know, I don't really care about his body. Really, she still wants that guy that's in the gym. She wants that Greek guy physique that turns into a freak. Really, she wants that body, but she like, that's not the smartest decision for me. But these chicks that are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, these chicks from 18 to about 25, they're hooking up with the guys with the good physiques 9 times out of 10. These chicks, when they're in their prime, they're hooking up with the guys with the best physiques most of the time. And I know a lot of guys that say, oh, when I was out of shape, sometimes I would get lucky. Yeah, sometimes you would get lucky. Sometimes you would get lucky. And I've talked to these women. I've heard the stories where they're like, I hooked up with one fat guy in my life and the first time with the last time. Or I've talked to women, yeah, I tried to give it a try, but I just couldn't get turned on. I've heard women say that. Oh, I tried it a couple times. It's just not for me. I can't look at a big body and get turned on. Or they're like, you know, I hate to say this. I feel so wrong for saying this, but he was kind of fat. So I feel like that's why the relationship ended. She's not going to tell you that. She's going to sugarcoat it. Oh, it's because your communication wasn't good. Oh, it's because you're not understanding my need. She might say a whole bunch of shit that has nothing to do with the reason she left your ass. But she might have left your ass because she's like, I see the rolls on his back. I see the massive titties on his chest. I just can't get turned on. I want a man I can look at and be proud of. How she's supposed to look at you and be proud of you? It all starts with the body. The body, the mind, and the soul is all connected. That's why I talk about the body game. But yeah, man, you got to keep it real with yourself. Y'all can keep saying body game is exaggerated and whatever you want to. Oh, I know this one guy, he's fat and he got a good wife. Yeah, that can happen. But on average, you are at a great disadvantage. You are at a great disadvantage if you're extremely overweight or if you're extremely scrawny. I'm not saying you got to be Chris Bumstead, but I'm telling you, once you get a better physique, you're playing at a different difficulty. You don't went from Hall of Fame to like medium to easy. You know what I'm saying? You went from extra hard to easy. You can say, body game doesn't work, but how about you actually build up that body and then you can say it doesn't work. Then you can say it doesn't make a difference. It's just like I said, these people that say, oh, money doesn't matter, but they never had money in their life. You looking at a billionaire talking about, oh, he's depressed. And it's like, well, that guy probably be depressed regardless of what's going on in his life. It's his mindset. And the mindset really is the most important thing. But if you have the right mindset, then you should know how to get your body game together. That's my thing. If you truly understand your mindset and you know how to keep yourself going, if you have a strong mindset, you need to know how to get yourself going. If you don't know how to keep yourself going, get yourself in the gym, stay consistent, then your mindset is the issue as well. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. That's all I got for y'all today. People can keep on coping and keep on lying, but the only person that's going to suffer at the end of the day is you if you don't make any changes. Because I promise you, you playing on a different level. Dog, you, and that's why I can't even comprehend paying for coochie. I never do that. When my mom was like, did you pay? You paid a hooker? I'm like, Mom, don't even disrespect me like that. And I really meant that. Like, I felt disrespected. And some of y'all like, what's the issue paying for a hooker? And it's like, you okay with sleeping with a woman that you can just throw some money and she'll sleep with you. I don't want that. That's not good enough for me. That's not good enough for me. I ain't trying to catch nothing on top of that. But to me, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense why I would pay a woman to lay down with me. Because I've ran across a lot of women that will gladly lay down with me, pay for me, pick me up, do damn near whatever I ask because they see the way I move. They're attracted to me. They see the body game. They like the way I talk. They like the confidence, whatever. And maybe a couple other things they like about me. So I can't even comprehend why I'd pay a chick. Why the hell would you pay a chick? If you have to pay a chick, you need to take a couple steps back and say, why can't I get a woman that's actually attracted to me? Why can't I get a woman that will lay down with me just off of me being who I am? But you got to be going toward the best version of yourself. This whole paying chick, dog, that shit's lame as fuck. That shit's lame as fuck. That whole tricking stuff, that shit lame as fuck. That's for the losers. That's for the fat, sloppy guys that are going to stay fat and sloppy for the rest of their life. That's not the life I want to live. I want a chick where she see me take off my shirt, she see me naked, and she already turned on. That's what I like. That's what I like. I don't like the chick that's like closing her eyes and just like, okay, he's giving me $500, so I just need to close my eyes and wait about 2 minutes until he busts, and then I'm going to act like I enjoyed it, but really I don't even want to be laying down with this fat slob, and then I'm going to go talk to my homegirls about how disgusting fat guy is. I don't want that life. That's not for me. But a lot of you guys aren't willing to put in the work. You don't want to sacrifice and put in the work. You keep trying to get this little quick fix. If that's what you want your life about, hey, by all means, do you, my boy. But that's all I got, man. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.